Hey guys, welcome to another video. So, we've been going over ACX and how to upload and make your audiobook yourself for free if you have no budget, but we've also been going over some of the expenses that you can or potentially will have if you decide to do those. So, by now we have gone over how to make it, the mistakes to avoid, and the starting of it, how to go over ACX's overall platform, how to use it. And I hope to have a video about how to choose the right narrator, which for that I have to get permission from all the narrators who auditioned for my books and get their permission to use their auditions in my video. So if it's up on YouTube at the time that I posted this video, then I'll put a link in the description below or a card up here. Same with the others ACX videos in there, so check that out. If I haven't gotten permission from those, that video will be up soon. As soon as I do get permission from the narrator, so just be patient. It'll be up soon. So as soon as I can get permission from that. So, but today we're going to go over the next step once you do choose your narrator. So, at this point, we've chosen the narrator. We know what to look for. I'm going to have another tip video about ACX soon. So let's get right into it. So if you look here, I'm on ACX, and right now I'm using Book 1, Valiant Book 1 Hunter as my example. That's what we've been using. And once you have chosen your narrator and you have selected send offer, which I didn't film me sending the offer to Hunter's narrator because I wasn't sure who I was going to choose and if I was going to stick to the person. So once you do send your offer, it's not too late to back off, although I don't recommend it. Like, don't just send an offer to just anybody. Send an offer to the person that you do want to narrate your book. But if you do send an offer to somebody and you get, this is the 15-minute checkpoint, which is the next step. So once you fill out all the information, you deliver your manuscript, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Then you wait for them to upload the 15-minute audio checkpoint, which you have to, they'll do that on their own. So basically they can do this on their side. After you upload your manuscript, they'll decide, okay, this is the first 15 minutes of the book, and they'll send it to you. So it automatically appears here. ACX sends you a message to let you know. They send you an email, and so you can come here, you can play it, and you can listen to it. Now this is important. This is the last stage that you have before you officially enter in the contract, where it's not easy to get out of. So when you listen to this 15-minute checkpoint, you really want to make your decision. Yes, this is the narrator that I want for my book, or no, there's something still a bit off. I need to get out of this and take some time to decide. The mistake, when I talked about my mistakes video, I'll put it in a card. One of the mistakes that I made was I just grabbed the first narrator that I'd found that I really liked for Samurai, because I did Samurai first because I had issues with Hunter. And I realized when I listened to the 15-minute checkpoint, oh, her voice is too old for my characters, and that at this point I sent a message to her being honest how I felt, being respectful and polite. She appreciated that, my respect, my honesty, and we both messaged ACX and told them, and they were able to just cancel the whole thing. It's not that easy once you get into a contract, trust me. So use this 15-minute checkpoint to really, really determine if this is the narrator that you want. This is basically your last minute to make a decision. And as I've been cautioning through the series, as I'm telling you guys about this, take your time. You really want to take your time with the narrators and the auditions, which I've talked about in my other video. I waited probably a week and a half to 2 weeks in this process, just waiting and letting people bring in auditions. The narrator that I chose was actually the second audition that I had, and I listened to him and I really liked it, and he was the #1 contender, but I wanted to wait to see more auditions coming in because you never know when something better is going to come up. And so you honestly just give it time. So sit on it, listen to your 15-minute checkpoint, and really take time to make your decision, and that's the best thing you can do. So I have already done that, and I have already made my decision. This is my narrator for Hunter. I like it. I didn't hear any mistakes. I actually did hear he pronounces Averella's name a little different, and then Zagara, a couple times he called it Zagara, but those are not big issues to me, and they can be adjusted when we start getting the final production done, because you have to approve it and you have a chance to ask for revisions and stuff. And so That's basically kind of that. So you can request a revision here if there's something that's a little off, like in mine. I've never done that, so I don't know the exact process of that, but you can request a revision. I'm assuming you would tell them, you know, hey, this is wrong. When you ask for a revision, one thing that I would advise you to do is tell them the exact time that you heard a mistake, like say they pronounced something wrong or they missed a word. Go through here and you know, like 11 minutes and 48 seconds, say at 11 minutes and 48 seconds this happened, because that'll help them when they're on their side on the editing process. You don't want them to have to listen to the whole thing to listen for the part you're talking about. It's just so much easier if you tell them this time, this time, this time, and this time, and then they can just go to those times directly and realize where the mistake or error or whatever it is and fix it very quickly for you. So that'll streamline it. The reason why I know this is that for my audiobook Shifter, my narrator, because Shifter, I invented 2 different languages that do not exist. So she is not even, we're technically on stage number 3 on ACX, but she's not uploading the audiobook to ACX at this time. She's sending each chapter to me through email, so I can listen to it and tell her, hey, this needs to be fixed. And then and she can fix it and edit it before we even get to the final production. It's a very, very easy process. I'm glad she's choosing to work with me. Your narrators may not do that. Feel free to ask them if you'd prefer to do it that way. If you do have other languages or complications like that, communicate with your narrator. One thing that I liked about this narrators for Hunter is that he was willing to like talk. In his audition, he actually left a little bit at the end discussing Averella's voice change, because she goes from sounding like a woman in the beginning to sounding like a man after she disguises herself as a man. And so one of the things, this is probably going to be a tip in my other video, and I've probably said it before, but be sure to get a narrator that you really like working with and that is willing to work with you and communicate with you, because communication in this process is key. The first issue that I had with Hunter was that my publishers handled the process and I was not a part of it, and I had no chance to communicate with the narrator or even say what was going on. I didn't get to listen to it. I didn't get to give my approval of anything. So you want a narrator who will communicate with you. So anyways, at this point, you're going to checkpoint audio. You're going to listen to it, take your time, think on it, approve, request a revision. If you want it to, you can download it to your computer so that you have it. Now, if you are exclusive to ACX, you cannot put these anywhere else. It will just be for your personal listening purposes, which is fine. I download all of it on my computer, but you cannot do anything with it if you are exclusive to ACX. So just letting you know on that. So you're going to click approve when you're ready to approve. And this is your full production. You're finally to stage 3. So welcome to the production manager. You use this space to review the audio tracks for each section of your audiobook. So this is the chapter names. Everything here will be uploaded exactly as it is. So if this is chapter 1, they will upload chapter 1 here. And so if there's anything, if you have a dedication chapter, take that out unless you just want it in the audiobook. If you have a table of contents, that doesn't go in here. If you have like the copyright page isn't read, if you have a list of books that are in your series, that doesn't go in here. Like me, for example, I had a further reading sightless. I have a short story at the end of mine, which is a bonus material for people who buy the paperback and the ebook. That is going to be removed, so you delete the section if you need to if you see a section that's not supposed to be here. I'm leaving the also by, but I will communicate with my narrator about that. I want my author's note in there, and then a sign up for Joanna Zoite's mailing list I'm going to leave in there, but we probably will take that out. So you want to review each one, make sure it's all correct the way it's supposed to be. You can delete sections, you can move them up and down, move to the top, to the bottom, or remove sections as you need to. This is basically where you're going to wait. You can also add a chapter or section. They will do the closing credits and then the audio sample, which will be 5 minutes or less for the sample of the audiobook for marketing on ACX. So the opening credits and closing credits will include this is written by author and this is narrated by the narrator's name, and that's the same thing with the closing credits. So you wait here basically while you wait for your narrator to start bringing in and uploading audio parts. So I've approved it, you approve it, and basically you just have to wait. You would see your information is here, how long it's going to be, and the title that you gave, and the audiobook when it's due. So it's due on February 1st, 2023 for me. I wanted to give a longer deadline. And then once this is done, I have never been to stage 4 yet for any of my books, because right now I'm in stage 3 for all 4 of my main projects, Hunter, Shifter, Samurai, and Assassin. So I'll get to that when I get to that and teach you guys as I get it to myself. But I'm assuming when you get to stage 4, that's when you get to approve each point. I don't know yet. But if you want to see what this looks like with audio uploaded to it, because again, I just approved it, so the narrator has not had a chance to upload it, I'm going to show you guys Assassin, because Assassin, the narrator, he's on it. He's like uploading new chapters a lot, like frequently, like every other couple days. So again, same page, receive final thing. So the full production, it'll update it. Like Hunter said 0, 0. That's because there was no audio uploaded for Hunter. So right now, it'll update every time you have a new audio uploaded. It'll update how long this is going to be. So right now there's enough of Assassin, see, up to chapter 5 uploaded, to where Assassin right now is 2 hours and 55 minutes long. So, which is really good. So again, the audio shows up here, so you can play it and listen to it here. You can download it. See other books in the Valiant series, not going to be read and has not been uploaded, so I'm going to remove that. You can still remove that as you go, but I would not advise that for after your narrator has uploaded stuff. So, you know, prologue, chapter 1. So again, the audio is here that they upload. When they have it up, it'll just pop up here like this. You can play them. You can go over here to action and download it to your computer, which I've already done. That way you have each one on your computer. And again, if you're using a narrator with royalty share, you are exclusive to ACX, and you cannot post these or do anything with them. That is not how ACX works. So again, and then each time, so see, he's uploaded to chapter 5, so chapter 6 not up yet. But when he does, it'll pop up here and it'll look like this. So that's what this page looks like, and at this point you just have to wait for your narrator to upload your audiobook. For your date, I would give it several months. It does take a long time to narrate. It takes a longer time to edit the audio thing. The thing that your narrator will be doing is not just reading your book, but they will be editing the audio file, because when people read books, I've done a narration myself, so I know, you stutter, you have mistakes, you may make a sound, there may be sound in the background, and you have to repeat a sentence or two. You may speak too fast or too slow. They may not like they may have added more emotion at a different part and reread it several times. So when you go in there, the audio file, you have to edit it to make it sound good. The sentences have to be spaced apart. My problem was I breathed really heavily when I did mine and everything. So I had to edit out each and every breath in between and after, before and after my sentences. They have to also make sure that the audio file is up to ACX's standard, and they're very picky. You have to have 5 seconds of silence at the very beginning and the end of each individual chapter, audio chapter. You have to have it within a certain degree of megahertz, I think. And so it's very technical, so they do a lot of editing, and that takes them hours upon hours of time. And if you're paying them outright, they're getting paid per finished hour. They're not getting paid for how many hours they work. If you're doing royalty share, their pay depends on how many people buy your book. So you really want to market your book if you're doing royalty share, because they deserve to be paid for their hard work just like you do. So yeah, that's the next step of doing an audiobook, and I'm very excited to keep going over this process with you. If you want to check out the mistakes to avoid when making an audiobook, then check out this video here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday.